Welcome to the New Media Plus program here at Tri-County Career Center. My name is Cade Stoneman. I am here with the high school director, Tom McGreevy. Today we'll be discussing the Ohio Bobcats football season in a recap. So the Bobcats finished 9-4 in a loss to Toledo Rockets in the MAC championship game. After watching them this season, how did their year make you feel?
Man, I was so proud and excited because the season we had last year was not the greatest, and it was kind of let down because we have all this, like, pretty much the same coaching staff, the same players, the same system. Usually when a new coach comes in and they want their players, their offensive schemes, their defensive schemes, but so last year was a letdown because the coach was in pretty much all the players. They knew the system, so this year was great to see a winning record, a bowl game, and it just brought a lot of energy and life to it was a little scary in the situation because you didn't know what was going in because of the season last year. You were like, is this going to be another season like this? But the coaches, the players all stepped up. We had a crazy non-conference schedule with Penn State and Iowa State, which were really good teams, and a little higher level than the normal MAC teams that we see. So
yeah, going into those Power 5 conferences, it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah.
So, in a game against Ball State, your quarterback, Curtis Rourke, he suffered a knee injury causing him to miss the rest of the season. So how badly do you think this affected their game against Toledo?
Yeah, so, I mean, that injury was huge because the offense was clicking. I don't know the stat, but we were high in offense for the college football. And Rourke had the system going, passing yards, touchdown yards, and everything was like clicking. It was like a MAC championship. We're going to Detroit. And then that knee injury that looked pretty serious against Ball State that night, I was like, man, is that surgery? Is that season ending? And it was. So that did affect the Toledo, the MAC championship game. I know CJ came in there. He's our backup quarterback. Came in there and won against BG, which we had to win to go to the championship. So that was a huge game for him. But I know we would have probably won the championship 100% if Rourke was not injured. And so that's kind of hard to swallow.
Yeah. So you ended up going to Ford Field to watch the game, actually.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like?
So I think this is like my third or fourth or fifth time there. Every time I saw the Bobcats lose. So that's kind of
Fourth or fifth time watching them in the championship game?
Yeah, lose. We haven't won since like the 60s. I think 68, but you might have to fact check me on that one. But each time I went, we've lost. And this year I thought maybe there was a chance, even with the backup quarterback. CJ played well in that BG game, so I thought maybe we'd see a victory there, but it just didn't happen. Ford Field's a great venue for the MAC. The stadium is awesome. It's indoors, so you don't have to dress because it's cold and windy in Michigan. So it's nice that we get that stadium, and there's a lot of venues next to it, restaurants and things to do in Detroit. So it was a nice, quick getaway.
So what do you think, out of all of those things that changed for the Bobcats this season, what do you think that was their biggest factor overall that changed them from going 3-9 to 9-3 in the regular season?
Yeah, I think experience, and I think having the stable atmosphere with the coaches, the playbook, and just going back to the basics. And I know the passing game really opened up the running game with Rourke there. We had his brother a couple years ago who's in the CFL doing really good things. So he's a dynamic player, and Ohio's very lucky to have him. But I think everything just clicked this year. And I know the defense looked bad in the beginning, and they made things better. And then against that championship game, we gave up a early touchdown that should have been called back. I think it was a fumble, but that was just my opinion. And it was like 10 points going into halftime. So I think our offense killed us in that championship game. But a lot of nice things by the coaches and the players that made the season turn around.
So now that regular season's done, title game's done, it's almost kind of stress-free now. You don't got to really worry about anything. But now you got to go face the Wyoming Cowboys. They finished, I believe, 7-5 in the Mountain West. What's your prediction for that game?
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see to play against the WAC, or the Mountain West, and Wyoming. I think we've played them a few times. I don't think we've won. I could be wrong. You might have to fact check that, but it'll be a nice game to see. I think. In the whole thing with players going into the NFL, I don't think it affects this game so much, but other games there's people opting not to play due to their draft lottery position. But I think Ohio will play hard. I think it'll be a close game. I do want to see a victory, so I'm going to go with the Bobcats. It'll be nice to watch. And my buddy from college is the band director at Wyoming, and we all went to OU's, so it's kind of like a nice homecoming for him to show his band off and for his alma mater to be there. So pretty cool.
So do you have anything else you'd really like to add to the Bobcats? Go Bobcats.
Yeah, go Cats.
All right. Thank you for your time. This was Cade Stoneman of Tom McGreevy.